So this is FluidPool Delegators, and your wallet should be one of these. So if you wanted to find, Utan didn't have access to his wallet at the time, so we were tracking back using the Cardano explorers to track back and find out his receive address using his staking address. So publicly, it's quite easy to find your staking address if you're delegated to a pool. So we jumped on here, found the wallet.
Morning, Jonathan.
Hi, Joya. You well?
I'm good, thank you. How are you?
Good, thanks.
I just on an IAW meeting, and that's why I'm late.
Yeah, no, that's fine. Everybody's jumped on a bit late as well.
Yeah, I'm with her now.
I'll be.
We were all after that $1,000 worth of Ethereum.
That's a well worth putting a bit of time in, I think. So I grabbed the stake address from Pool.pm Explorer, and then we jumped onto Cardano Scan, dropped the staking address into Cardano Scan, which then lets us go and see all the addresses for that address, that staking address. These are all the receive addresses that have been used for transactions. So we could grab any one of those, copy just the ADDR1 onwards part, and then we can jump to Tosidrop. So actually, let me paste that into the. Well, actually, you can see it in our chat history on Discord. So on Discord, if you go back to open up the chat, so hover over the Hangout voice channel, click Open Chat, and then you can go back up to see the links from today. Tosidrop. Oh, maybe I didn't do it in here. I didn't actually drop it in here, so let me do it now. Tosidrop's a little umbrella. And that will take you through to the website, and you can take your receive address. We just found the one from here. Copy that, paste it into Tosidrop, and then you can check my rewards. It will go off, query the blockchain, find out what you're eligible to receive from, and this one is actually the ADA Seal token distribution platform, vending machine. And so this wallet has 0.399 ADA, 0.39 Ziber that you can pick up from having staked with FluidPool for the ISPO. So we were trying to figure out how much that might be worth, but really there's no documentation. It's not listed on any coin lists yet, so we don't really know what it's worth now. We just know that it could be worth a lot in the future. And I was saying that the game most similar to it is probably previously existing game is probably Axie Infinity, which is on the Ethereum network. And so we were looking at the tokenomics for the Axie Infinity using CoinMarketCap, and you can see that token is worth $16.18 currently, and they've got an 82 million circulating supply. So if we find out what the Ziber circulating supply is, whether it's capped or whether it's ever increasing, then we could work out potentially what the if it performs anything like Axie Infinity, we could find out potentially where the value of the token might go. But at the moment, it's just hearsay. There's too many variables to try and get a decent price on it until people start buying and selling it on exchanges. We won't know, and because we're in very early with the ISPO, we don't have that information to hand yet. So anyway, on Tosidrop, I think that's worth recovering. So this is. Did I pick?
So, sorry, Jonathan. Do you think that will be the conclusion of getting the free tokens, as it were?
Yeah, this is the most you'll get of the Ziber tokens for
Nice.
now. So yeah, if you want to pick them up, now is the time to do it. We've got until Epoch 354, I think it was, to collect them without them starting to then diminish again. So this is showing you the maximum you can collect in one transaction. Yeah, so we've got another 12 days to collect them before they start to drop off. And so what it's done is it's accrued, it's released your Ziber every epoch, a little bit more, a little bit more over the 10 epochs. And now they're all available to collect. And then from the 354, which is in 3 epochs time from when it ended, it'll then start to diminish. So week on epoch, it'll start to reduce that amount. So now is a perfect time to get them all the ones available to you. So that was Jaya and Utan's address. Check the rewards, so you can now go forward and claim them.
Awesome. Thank you.
And so it'll be a case of sending 1.9 ADA, doing a manual transfer. Now there's a couple of good options with this platform that I hadn't used before and I really liked. So you can do a manual transfer, which is how we've typically done it. You've taken the receive address from you're supposed to be sending to. So in this case, we're sending it back to ourselves to pick up these tokens. So you'd send 1.9 ADA from your Eternal wallet or your Nami wallet, Yoroi, to your Nami Eternal wallet again. So you're sending from an address to the same address.
I think this is where I sort of got lost with something because of that plug thing on the Eternal wallet.
Oh, the DAP connector.
Yeah,
that's what
so
I was
connected, so I see that I've got like a transaction in my sort of. Does it have to be connected to your Fluid 7 staking address? So I think that's where I was.
So no, your wallet, the wallet paying for the transfer of that Ziber doesn't have to be the same wallet that will receive the token. So this we've checked. This is the address that's eligible to receive them, but we could actually pay for that transaction using any of the wallets. So if you've got like a working wallet that you have that you use for dApps, then you could be using that instead. So that's what I was just starting to say, was that you could do a traditional manual transfer where you just send from address to another or using your wallet, or you've now got this dApp connector. So when I say dApp connector, I'm talking about decentralized applications. They can connect wallets directly to websites or browser extensions. And those are called dApps.
It's like you'd have on your Eternal wallet.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
So what I thought would be interesting to actually do it. So if you don't mind, Jai and Utan, I might use your wallet as an example. I'll pay for the retrieval of your Ziber tokens, unless you want to do it yourselves. I'm happy to pay.
And then, thank you, Jonathan. Yeah, I just want to understand, is this exactly like doing like a Dripdropz kind of, and then this Tosidrop is like a dApp connector? Is that correct? Or am I understanding is not right?
Yeah, so I haven't done a dApp connector. I haven't used the dApp connector on Dripdropz. I don't even know if they've got one. Have they got one now?
I haven't seen one.
I don't think so. I don't have any dApp connected. But the Dripdrop is, I do have a Dripdropz. And is it exactly the same like doing in a Tosidrop as well?
It is, except there'll be different tokens released on the different platforms. So,
Okay.
So this instance, view all addresses. So this was the address I was playing with. Yeah. So this is the your wallet staked to FluidPool. So we're going to check the rewards on Dripdropz, and you can see it's got this whole array of tokens that you can pick up. But what you won't find is the Ziber tokens, because the Ziber ones aren't released on Dripdropz. They're released on Adafruit, which is a different collection platform. And what was interesting is that so these guys don't have a DApp connector, but Tosidrop, which is another token distribution platform, that does have a DApp connector. So instead of having to do the manual process from your wallet, you can actually do it using the DApp connector. So that's what you were asking about, Robin, and I thought it'd be a good exercise to try and do here.
Yes.
Thank you.
I did. I I saw the connect, and then it gave me like the option to connect the plug. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
You know, so I was like, okay, I'm connected to the wallet that I want to pay the fees from, and I did that, and I can see I can see two transactions. I can see an outgoing and an incoming. But then the Zibers, I can't see the Zibers anywhere.
In your wallet.
Yeah. And I've just done a check now on the Tosidrop to see what rewards I've got, and now they've still come up there. So does that mean that they're still there and they didn't go anywhere? In which case, what did my transaction fees pay for?
Yeah, I'm not sure. That sounds odd. Maybe
I've done exactly the same and it worked.
Yeah, I've done a couple and it worked for me. So Robin, perhaps you and I can get can have a look at that transaction. And I can try and
What
debug it
wallet
for
do you have?
Thank you.
So let me just pick a wallet to use. I'll connect it. So this is Brave browser, which I like to use. I use Firefox as my main browser because it's got some developer tools that I like a lot. I have also used Chrome occasionally for testing, and I have Brave because I like it as a ecosystem. It's sort of crypto backed. It's got its own token, and you can either have adverts or you can have token rewards. So what I tend to do is actually do all my daily stuff in Firefox. I install all my extensions, and then Brave I keep very clean. I don't install many extensions, and I run my crypto stuff from Brave. That's just a sort of an approach that I think might have some benefit. And I don't use a private incognito window because then you lose all your settings each time. So I do like to store it, and I don't want to store all that stuff in a browser that I use all day, every day. So I just do it in Brave.
Do you use DuckDuckGo?
DuckDuckGo, do they have their own browser, or are they? I think they do, don't they? They're certainly a search engine, but I think you can have them their own browser as well. And that one's, yeah. So that's another one that could be used instead of Brave. Or something like that. But yeah, I tend to like the idea of having a separate browser that I don't use very often just for my crypto activity. So on here, I've got the browser extension for Eternal Wallet, and then I do my transactions through here. So
yeah, we do the same. We use Brave, but we also use the Eternal and also Nami wallets on it. Again, only for crypto transactions.
Cool. So I'm glad someone thinks like me. So, for example, here we can now go in and start a new claim. So this is Giant Nutan's wallet. Paste that into.
Can't see anything, Jonathan. Still got the Toki thing up. Is that the right screen?
Tosidrop.
Yeah.
Yeah. So that's the one I want to share. That's got the wait, let me just check Discord. Yeah, this is the old one there, isn't it? So this is 5 bucks. So I'm going to share the other screen, which is this one. That's the Brave browser. So you should be seeing that now. Cool. Thanks for that, Paul. So I'm going to go in and check the rewards on this one now. There's that 0.399 Ziber tokens available to be collected. So let's claim the rewards. And what we can do is connect Eternal. In fact, I need to check. I've got my DApp connector on. So over in Eternal, I've got my staked ADA wallet, which is my sort of daily driver. This is my DApp connector button, so that's plugged in, it's gone green. That's the one that will be used for any DApp connector transactions. So then back on Tosidrop, I'm going to click the Eternal. It's not letting me click. That did work smoothly last time, so I'm not sure why it's not letting me click now. Nami's worked. Oh, is it? Is it gonna pop up somewhere else? Nope. Did you use Eternal, Paul?
Yeah, used Eternal and Nami, and no issues. Got the Ziber bug token straight away.
Nice. Worked smoothly for me as well. Let me just refresh this, see if we've got... Oh, there. It's found it now. So I think issues can arise if you click the connect button and Eternal before you've actually made sure your DApp connector's on here. So I think that was probably the issue. And just refreshing the screen then restored that connection. So you can tell it's connected to Eternal because it's giving you the logo and it's showing you your receive address. So that's the address that we'll be doing. So I've just noticed here what it's done is taken that address from my wallet and attached it and dumped it into the deposit address, which is what you want. But it's not telling me 100% that it's not going to be checking the rewards for that address as well. So Robin, did you pay with the same, try to transact with the same wallet that should be receiving the Ziber?
No. See, that's where I think something's gone wrong. So I've got my Fluid 7 Eternal wallet, and I copied and that's my staking. I went to go and copy the address from there, the receive address there, to paste into the Tosidrop to check rewards. Came up with the Ziber, and then I did like you're doing the connect. Maybe I haven't noticed something that's overtyped or something. I've done the send ADA, and then I've watched on my Eternal wallet what's happening, and I've seen it working, in the transaction history. And so I can see on the 18th of July I did it, sent funds and then received funds, which is like, and then because it was connected, the DApp was connected to a different wallet. And so then I can't see the token anyway. I can see the transaction fees.
So the one So the one you were paying with, I guess, wasn't delegated to FluidPool during the ISO. So that, but that was the one that was then checked against for the airdrop. So so that's where it's gone wrong, which is very annoying. And well done for spotting it and for highlighting it, and that's been able to let us figure out. So let me drop into claim again.
But what I'm saying now is I didn't find it like on the 18th, and then I checked again on the 19th, And I'm thinking, okay, maybe the blockchain is just really slow, or I don't know where I'm looking. So I had a quick look around, and I still couldn't see it.
No, well,
But
so it's
now
not...
I've now done this with you now, and the Tosidrop is showing that I do have Ziber available.
Yes.
So does that mean it's still sitting there and it can be claimed?
Yes, so they're still available to be claimed. The transaction you did with the wallet using the DApp connector was the one by default it was trying to claim for, and that one didn't have any Ziber that it could collect, so it didn't collect any Ziber. It just paid for the transaction, which is very annoying. But it doesn't mean you've lost your Ziber, so you can still go and collect them. But it means you'll either have to... Well, I'm about to investigate now. I suspect it means you'll have to pay with the same wallet that was delegated to FluidPool. You have to use that same wallet to pay for the collection transaction. I'm just going to try and see now if I can pay for using the DApp connector, using collecting the Ziber for Djed.
And my learning thing here is just that I've paid for something that I didn't get, right? And it's only been a small. The net is 0.44 ADA.
So that's your learning. You've paid 0.44 ADA for learning that that Tosidrop DApp connector is the only one that will be used. DApp connector wallet is the one that we use to collect the Ziber tokens.
That's a cheap learning.
Yes.
Thing. I'm just trying to process it in my head, though, but that's what I've done. So it's cost me 0.44 ADA. You see how the DApp plug works, how it connects to Tosidrop and the Eternal wallet.
Yeah, and this is one thing as checking your address and verifying it in every part that it's used is important. And I hadn't spotted that change before because it didn't change for me because I was using the same wallet to pay as I was collecting with. But yeah, testing it end to end, spotting when the address is, when you're signing a transaction, making sure that the addresses used are the right ones that haven't been swapped out at some point, is a very important thing. And this is probably some feedback that needs to go to Tosi to say you need some kind of alert as to which wallet will be used for the claim versus which one will be used for payment, and in that you can't use different ones. But let's see if we're correct in that. So I'm going to go back to the claim. I'm going to drop in. Oh no, that's wrong browser. I'm going to go back to the claim. I'm going to drop in. No, still not let me. Copy this address again. Back to the claim. I'm going to see. Yeah, it's overridden, so you can't actually change that address. So it's only letting you check rewards for that DApp connected wallet. And to check another address, I'll have to disconnect it. Go back to claim, and then I can paste in a different address, which is Djed's one. So if I check there, we can see 0.399 is available. If I now connect...
But you have to collect the little tick as well?
Yes, I would do if I was connecting them. But I'm now going to connect my wallet and go back and check the rewards. And it should show me that I've got none to collect, because I'd already collected them on my wallet. And even though I'd put in Djed's address initially, it wouldn't let me. It swapped that address out, the claim address out, when I clicked the DApp connector. So yeah, we've figured it out, Robin. So if you want to collect your Ziber tokens and paying for it with a different wallet, you'll have to do the manual rather than do the DApp connector. So let's do that. If I disconnect the DApp connector, I'm going to refresh so I can check new rewards. I'm going to copy Jai's address. So in your case, this would be your Fluid staked pool, your address staked to FluidPool, Robin. I'm going to check my rewards. This should tell me I now have 0.399 to be able to collect. I'm going to tick them, claim my rewards, and so you've got two options basically. You can do a manual transfer, or you can do the DApp connector. So you can either connect using the DApp by hitting the connect button or scanning the QR code, and once you've done that, you get this send ADA button. But I'm not going to do that because it will override this wallet that I'm trying to collect with. Is that the right one? No, that looks different again.
So if I'm willing to
Oh, that's
pay,
the deposit address. Yes. Sorry.
So if I'm willing to pay for the ADA fees to claim the Ziber tokens with the same Fluid 7 wallet, and I can connect with the DApp and just click, 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 yes.
Yes, you could. Yeah. But so like in this instance, I want to do it to benefit somebody else. So I'm going to do it using a different wallet. So I'm not going to use a DApp connector. I'm just going to do the manual transfer. So I'm going to take this as my as the destination address. Going to go to my wallet. I'm going to make a normal send transaction. So that's let's check the end, 2S5P, and the beginning, 8V35, 8V35, 2S5P. So that's all correct, happy with that address. The amount I've got to send is 1.9 ADA. So that 1.9 ADA is made up with a withdrawal fee of 0.1, which goes to Tosi, 0.17, which goes to Cardano blockchain, service fee, which I guess goes to either Tosi or Ziber Bugs guys. So in total, I'll be sending 1.9, and they'll get back to me 1.53.
Really cheap for what it is.
It's crazy cheap, yeah. So this whole service is offered for 0.1 ADA.
That's great.
By the guys who built the platform. So I'm going to put in here the amount, which is 1.9 ADA. I'm going to say next. Put in my spending password. I can check the transaction details again.
So can I clarify as well that the Ziber tokens in this instance, they have said that it has to go to the address of the, it's going to the staking address. Like if I, like I'm talking about my spending wallet, is different to my Fluid wallet, which is kind of where ultimately I would prefer to have all my tokens as well and all my NFTs and things. In this case, I can't go directly there. It has to go to my Fluid 7 one, and only if I want to then move it at another fee or do a transfer between my two wallets. That's the only way to get things in one place.
Yes, exactly. And that's a mechanism to prevent people stealing other people's drop tokens.
Yeah. Okay.
So it has to go to the one that was actually staked. Anybody can pay for that transaction, as long as not using a DApp connector. Yeah, it has to go to the wallet that was staked. So I'm happy with this transaction. It's 1.9. So you can see that the transaction has a 0.17 on top of that 1.9. So the fees we were seeing earlier on Tosi, that's talking about the fees to actually distribute the the transaction fee that Tosi has to pay to distribute the Ziber to your wallet. This transaction fee is what we're using to pay to start that process off. So if I sign that transaction, I'll get jumped off to the blockchain. It'll move from pending to low to high, and yeah, and then once that happens, that will trigger the process in Tosidrop to actually then send out the Ziber tokens to Jaya's wallet. Very interesting.
Nice.
So while we're here, there's one other additional service that I want to offer you, if anybody's interested. So in this case, there we go. That's just dropped on chain. That was pretty quick. And so yeah, we should see, Jaya, you should have a look at your wallet, see if the tokens turn up, and the Ziber tokens turn up, and how quickly that happens.
Yeah, I will check. Thank you, John. Give me 1 second.
Okay, cool. So you don't get confirmation when you're not using the DApp connector on this page, but effectively we've done what we need to do, and I think it will just update that status once it's confirmed my transaction to Tosi. Tosi will then send out the Ziber, and the status will change. So I'll leave that open as well. But yeah, this additional service for delegators to FluidPool I want to offer is once you're verified on Discord and connected and everything, then you can actually use one of my relays as the back end to your wallets, and that will be faster than using the ones that come with the wallets. So if we look at the settings for the wallet, sorry, it's not here, is it? It's on the whole. So this is a setting page just for this particular wallet. I'm going to click on the global settings, which is for the whole of the Eternal wallet. And you can see here I've got a custom submit API endpoint, and in there you can actually put in my relay's address, and that will use my relay to connect your wallet to the blockchain rather than the Eternal's relay. And because there's me and you probably using my relay at any particular time for this particular feature, it should be faster at getting transactions on and off the blockchain than using Eternal's one, which will have thousands of people using it all the time. And you can do this on any of the wallets. So Nami, you can change the submit API endpoint, and Flint, and certainly any of the community wallets. I'm not sure if you can do it on Yoroi. I haven't tried it on there. But this is an additional feature if you're finding your transactions are slow and you like the idea of just running through Fluid's network to access the blockchain rather than the wallet provided one. This is a way to do it. So one of the sort of plus sides to this is that it's really helping to decentralize the applications as well as the chain itself. So by stake pool operators like myself offering this as a service to delegators, we've now got lots of access points to the blockchain rather than the big main ones. So most applications are built using a backend provider called Blockfrost, because they were the largest first commercial entity to build out on Cardano the access to the blockchain through API endpoints. And so they're very popular. Everybody uses them. They do a really good job. Lots of service. But that is a single private entity operating their own infrastructure along with thousands of other people making use of it. And that is what we're trying to get away from as a whole, as an industry. So that's centralized. by you guys who delegated to FluidPool, know me, talk to me. You might prefer to use my infrastructure because then you've got someone you can call when something goes wrong. And it also then reduces the number of people using Blockfrost. So you're decentralizing access to the blockchain. And this is a good thing for decentralization metrics as a whole. So one of the particularly high profile problems that's addressed by having all the wallets using the same backend was with MetaMask and the Infura provider. So Infura is a bit like Blockfrost. They provide the endpoints for the wallets to connect to actually talk to the Ethereum blockchain. But Infura ended up to have a major shareholder being, was it JP Morgan? Oh dear, I think I've said that wrong. I can't remember, but it was a Wall Street bank effectively. And they were pretty much consuming and getting control of a large proportion of MetaMask. And then they started to mandate, okay, we don't want anybody in Russia to be able to connect to MetaMask when the war broke out. And so suddenly you had access to the blockchain removed, default access removed for a whole load of MetaMask users, which is exactly what we're trying to avoid and get away from. Because you've got geopolitical stuff going on that is nothing to do with us as human beings. Russians didn't have much of a say in the Russians invading Ukraine, same as we don't when we didn't in the UK when the Iraq War happened. So we're trying to detach our financial system, our operating system for the world, from geopolitical control. And so by doing things like this, which seem simple and not really that important, actually you're decentralizing the financial system. And this is a good thing. So I'd encourage you, if you see an opportunity like this, grab it. If you can get your head around it, you're comfortable with it, you understand what's going on, then this is a good approach to take. And so this address that was on screen now is just a way for you to access my relay, put transactions just through that relay, and if you want it and you're up for it, then give me a shout and I'll set you up with access. At the moment it's restricted, so I can do it from my office IP, but nowhere else. But I can open it up to others if you want it.
Yeah, I'll have access to the address, please.
Cracking. All right.
Me too, Jonathan. So yeah, it should be great.
Awesome.
And I've just checked the Eternal, but it's not showing. But maybe I think it will take time for the Ziber token. Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. So checking here, it's still saying waiting for deposit. So Tosi hasn't been able to verify our transaction yet, so it won't release the tokens until that's happened. So yeah, we're still waiting. Thanks for that.
Can I? So I did understand what's happened, I think, but can you just talk me through claiming my Ziber tokens now?
Yes.
Make sure that with the connect DApp.
Using the DApp connector. Okay, cool.
Yeah.
So
I'm gonna if I can just talk through it and you tell me that I'm doing the right thing. Okay, so I'm going to my Eternal wallet with my Fluid 7 staking wallet, and I'm going to the receive section, and then there's an address in there. It says available wallet address, and I'm going to copy that address.
Mm-hmm.
And then go to Tosidrop, and I'm going to paste it in there. Say claim my rewards, check my rewards, whatever the button said, and I can now see I've got Zibers there. So it says I've got 0.414583. So I tick, and in the corner of the Tosidrop, I'm connected to Eternal wallet. The thing I did first as well in my Eternal wallet is made sure that the plug picture is green for my Fluid 7 wallet.
Perfect. Yeah.
Okay. And then to check that, I'm seeing that copy, that receive address, the beginning and the end, is the same as the address I've just checked my rewards with. So it's all matching. So into, the check the rewards is starting ADDR1, ending in WUKF, and is the same address in the top right corner.
Yeah. So
of the connection.
So when you're checking the start of the address, ADDR1 is the start of every Cardano blockchain address. So take the next few characters after that. I think it was Q something.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. QX. It's only showing me. Yeah, it's only showing me QX in the top right corner of Tosidrop.
Okay.
And then it's showing me the last four things, WUKF, which is matching my receive staking address.
Yes, perfect. And
then I select all, and I say claim my rewards, and it brings up the summary with the QR code.
Yeah.
And now the deposit address is different.
Yes. So this is the address, the Tosi wallet address. So you're going to be sending your ADA into to pay for them to then send you the Ziber tokens.
Okay. So do I have to do, because I'm connected to the DApp, do I have to do anything anywhere else, or do I just now click send ADA?
You can just click send ADA because your DApp connector is helping you form that transaction. So it's picked up the deposit address that it's going to be sending to. It knows your sending address because it's connected to your wallet, and it's going to create that transaction and do it for you. So you don't then have to go into the wallet to do all the stuff that I did manually on screen.
And the warning at the top.
Yeah, sorry. On that, can you send and receive the deposit account and then sending account? Can it be the same, or it needs to be different?
So that deposit address is a Tosi address. So that's not yours. It's the service that you're using to collect your Ziber from. So you can't have that as the same as your address in this instance.
Okay, thank you.
And it's prompting me for my spending password now, so I'm just going to go and look that up.
And the only other thing on that screen is the QR code. So if you were using a mobile wallet to connect to form the transaction, then you could scan from your mobile wallet that QR code, which will then pull the deposit address into your wallet, and then you can use that to do the normal construct your manual transaction.
I'm not even going to think about that.
Yeah, that's fine. So,
okay, Okay, it says status processing transaction. So now I should be able to see this as well in the Eternal wallet as like a pending.
Yes. So that should show up in your transaction list, in your pending section, and then it should eventually change from pending to on-chain, or to low to high.
Okay. And then so now I'm in the same position as Jaya is now, where we're just waiting the transaction to finish in all wallets, like the Tosidrop, whatever, their deposit wallet, etc. All of that to happen, and then Zibers should appear in the token.
Yeah, so that then on your account tab in Eternal, you can look under token list for fungible tokens, FTs, and your Ziber tokens, and I've collected mine already, Ziber tokens should turn up there.
And then your API endpoint thing that you were talking about, that address, the option of that would, if we had applied that into the settings, theoretically would have been quicker.
Yes, that's the expectation, particularly when the chain is congested, because then you're talking about just you going through a single stake pool operator's relay rather than having to go through block frosts, load balancer, but everybody will be doing it at the same time.
Okay, connecting all the dots now, thank you.
And this is particularly useful for people who do get into sort of heavy time critical trading, or trying to get in on an NFT drop that's very busy, or the launch of a DEX. These sort of times the chain gets really saturated, and transactions can then, instead of being 20 seconds, 30 seconds, they can end up being 15 minutes, an hour. And when Sunday Swap launched, it was up to 12 hours to get some liquidity pools funded. We haven't seen loads like that since, because we've had a whole load of optimizations happen subsequently, and there's been no real congestion since then. And with the Vassal hard fork, which is coming up in a few weeks' time, then there's going to be even less likelihood of congestion, because it's going to bring in a whole load of speed optimizations that will just set Cardano on another level altogether. So it's very good times. Saying that, it's still worth, just from a decentralization technicality, it's worth using an alternate relay for your wallets, rather than the wallet provided ones.
So back to Tosidrop. If I'm trying to match things, should I be matching things up? So I'm looking at the 1.53 ADA, and then underneath that it says the withdrawal fee is just an approximation, but it won't differ so much from the displayed value. But if I go to my Eternal wallet, I can see that I've sent funds, and it's like 2.068. So that's not matching the 153. Is that?
Yeah, so I was trying to explain that the calculations on Tosi are what you'll be paying for. This is what your transaction is going towards paying Tosi's end of things, which totals 1.9 ADA. So they're asking you to send 1.9 ADA. However, for you to send that 1.9 ADA to them to cover their fees, you're actually paying a transaction fee as well, which is another 0.17 on top of that 1.9, which is why when you form that transaction in Eternal, it's showing you that it costs you 2.06. Does that make sense?
It does when you explain that, but why didn't they just show that clearly there, so that you can see 2.06 equals 2.06 on that screen? You know, like when you check your banking statement.
That
matches.
That would be a good UI UX tweak for them. But yeah, they're trying to describe what they're getting and what they'll be spending your money on, so they won't see that 0.17 ADA.
My Eternal wallet just refreshed, and I have received funds in tokens. Jaya, have you got yours?
Ooh.
I've got it. Mine's there.
Nice. Now the proud over of some Ziber.
I have one token.
Yeah, I still haven't received it yet.
Yours still hasn't come up. Yeah, it's still waiting for deposit on the Tosidrop website. So maybe there's a slower verification process for if the wallet paying for it is different to the wallet receiving. Maybe there's some kind of manual process in there. I don't know. But I'd expect them to show up before too long, Jaya. And certainly we've got plenty of access to come back and get it.
Yeah, and then at the same time, I did the other one. Other one, I received it, Jonathan.
Oh, okay. So that probably is it.
Yeah, while Robin was doing, I'm also doing at the same time. And that one, yeah. So your other account.
Perfect.
Yeah, I received that one. Maybe it will take longer.
Yeah, maybe. Yeah. I guess there must be something.
And also, yeah, I've got a question. I do have like several other wallets, but not in Fluid, but I delegated to other accounts. From that also, can I access this Ziber box? So we can't. It's only you.
So only pools who are in this ISPO, and so that is the XSPO pools. So there is 54 different stake pools that were involved. So you'd have to be one of those pools that you were delegated to be able to receive your Ziber tokens.
So can we find out what are the other things? Then maybe it is Toshi, or just put my address and then see if it.
Yeah, you can put your address in and check it. Yeah, that's probably the quickest way.
That's the quickest way. Okay.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Yeah, I did that with one of my other Nami wallets, and it just came up with no record of cyber bugs on it straight away.
Okay. Yeah. I'm trying to find the list of pools. I'm not connected to Twitter on there, so I'll go for this one.
So what, Jaya? What are you asking here? Are you saying that another Eternal wallet that you stake, you want to know which pool stake to that would also earn Zibers, so that we can accumulate Zibers, make them earn
That's
more?
Yeah, I do have like a couple of other wallets in Eternal, but I stake not only in the Fluid, but the other what it is called, like other projects. So yeah, maybe I think I can switch other project also into the Fluid again, because I know you more, Jonathan. So I don't know what they are doing, but hopefully they are just paying me the interest. But apart from that, I don't know.
I think we did it for Sunday swap, right?
Yeah, from the Sunday swap, yeah.
That's when we start like delegating. So now I know option.
Right, yes. Yeah, and that's a good thing to try and do, is to keep aware of what other ISPOs are going on that I don't have access to, that another pool might, and if it's a token that you think could be valuable, then it's worth having another wallet just so you can delegate over to there. I do it myself, so I'm not going to stop any of my delegators doing the same thing. We can all enjoy this vibrant, growing ecosystem, same as each other. So I can't find a definitive list, but like if you go to Ziber Bugs Twitter feed, there's this picture which shows you all the pools. So I can drop that into the chat. There may be a list on here. Yes, there we go. So you'd have to be delegated to one of these pools to earn Ziber tokens in this, to have earned Ziber tokens in this ISPO. So I'll drop that into the chat. Oh dear.
So do you know of any other exciting projects within Cardano? Obviously, Luca was talking about Djed. Was it Djed today?
Yes. Yeah. So that is an exciting one. It's not launched yet, and I don't think they've got a date even, but they're talking about it as imminent. So it's suddenly starting to look very real, which is very cool. Let me just jump to this other screen. Go back to Firefox. That is this one. So I think they did. They've got a Djed channel, or this is not Twitter. This is this one. It's amazing how many apps and websites out there are starting to look the same. Like that Medium post looks just like Twitter. So we're getting closer to the Djed mainnet release. This was from an hour ago. You can read more about the protocol here. Drop that in chat as well. So they've got details now on the fees that are associated with participating in Djed. Also got a new ecosystem diagram. So this was explaining some of the complexities of their protection mechanisms. So we've got the Shen token, we've got the ADA token involved, as well as the Djed. And each of those plays a particular role in their ecosystem. So as I loosely understand it, the Shen token is effectively like the so like you had Luna and Terra. This is like the a liquidity pool. This is like the LP token. The Shen will be the token earned that's high risk, high reward. And that's going to be used to cover the fluctuations of the markets to keep that stable coin pegged. ADA is also backing the stable coin, and ADA's been considered a stable coin for lots of people because it never goes up in price. But the Djed token itself will be the one pegged to the dollar. And that is going to be over collateralized between 400 and 800% by the ADA backing it. And the ADA is then protected by the Shen, I think. So we're going to have Coty, which are the providers of the actual implementation of this stable coin architecture. The architecture itself was designed by IOG. Coty were chosen to implement it. Coty have their own blockchain. They have their own token. So there's really, IOG do a good thing in handing this off to another team to build out. It shows that they're not building in anything that was favorable towards one blockchain. They're really trying to make it a widely used stablecoin. And the treasury behind Coty and the team behind Coty are very strong. So if you were looking for investment opportunities in any of this coming architecture ecosystem, of course, hold ADA. That is always going to be a very good token to hold, the best in my opinion. Opinion only, not advice. You could also look at Shen when it's launched. So by being part of the high risk, high reward area of the ecosystem, by minting and by buying Shen, exchanging your ADA for Shen, you'll be helping to stabilize the stablecoin and also getting high rewards, high Shen rewards, which will be redeemable for ADA, good proportion. You could also be more.
So, Jonathan, we can buy this Shen on the Cardano ecosystem, or where can we buy?
So when Djed launches, then now as far as I understand it, anybody can provide liquidity. So anybody could buy Shen with their ADA. I have heard differing opinions that this may be restricted to high value investors. Now, that doesn't sit right with me. I don't think that's going to be the case, but the people who said it, I respect. So whether it plays out or not, I'm not sure. But I certainly expect anybody will be able to buy Shen. Obviously, you'll be a small player in a big market because there'll be lots of big investors looking to get in on this. But yeah, when that does launch, then you'll be able to just buy Shen from the Coty built platform. So that would be something you could get involved in. Then also you can look at it more from this is a very strong signal for Coty stepping up the game even further. So Coty already have their own blockchain to DAG, distributed acyclic graph mechanism, which is really fast, can scale really well, combined with low transaction fees.
How do you buy Coty?
Coty is available from any of the centralized exchanges.
Okay, I think I've seen this one. Yeah,
so
Luke has mentioned Coty before. It's like, I know you've been talking like a payment thing.
They also they also provide this payment platforms.
Like it's bridging networks. The fiat. It's going. One of the things was it going to bridge the fiat to the crypto potential. Like you might, people that are in the fiat world will not necessarily know they're even using the blockchain. I think Coty's involved in some sort of thing like that.
So yeah, they have a payment gateway, so you'll be able to buy anything, and the transactions will actually happen on a blockchain, but the settlement will happen in the fiat world. So yeah, they're a big player, Israeli-based team business. And one of the unique things about them is that they, from the very beginning, they have said we are 100% compliant with the fiat world. So they've gone for a different approach to most blockchains, and that everybody who signs up to use their token, their platform, has to be KYC'd and AML'd. So every transaction that's happened on the Coty blockchain can be traced, who made the transaction, how much it was for, and can be held accountable for taxes and money laundering, things like that. So they've gone for a fully open, fully transparent. We will comply with legislation. We will work with geopolitical circumstances to make sure that the way you're operating in the area, in the country you're operating, you will be legally compliant. And that's, that to me is a healthy place for a stable coin to be built, because then you've got a whole load of really angry token skeptics looking at you, evaluating you, justice systems checking out and ready to swat you as soon as you step out of line, which is very different from the Lunar architecture, which was very much a venture capital backed, shout about it as loudly as you can, get as many people into the ecosystem as you can, and your technology doesn't have to be that good. So this is a very different approach.
But aren't they also susceptible, Jonathan, with a lot of the fiat based cryptocurrencies like you've seen Luna? Aren't these guys potentially at risk as well of getting rolled?
Is Coty not at risk? Is that what you're saying?
Yes.
So yes, they are. Any stablecoin is at risk. But just like you've seen USDC and USDT or UST, there's too many of them. So Tether and USDC. USDC is the most popular. Those stablecoins have proven, the way they've been architected, to have kept their peg in very volatile markets. And that's the real sign of a quality stablecoin, is that they've done what they've promised consistently through bear and bull markets. That means that they've probably got their mechanics right, and they're far less susceptible to attacks by Wall Street. Djed is and those guys tend to do it by just holding $1 in the bank for every dollar they have on their blockchains, and that works. That's kind of stable. It works to a large degree. However, it does mean that you're not. You still have monetary policy. You still have the options for corruption within themselves as an organization, and so Djed is aiming to be the first algorithmically backed stablecoin rather than fiat backed stablecoin. So it's using the power of maths to ensure it's stable, rather than having a dollar stored in the bank for every dollar you have on chain. And the idea for that is that you can write the code, you can launch it onto blockchain, onto the DeFi system, and it's not susceptible to corruption and interference from the original parties who launched it onto blockchain. So everything's very transparent, everything's very open, and there is higher risk because we don't have a successful algorithmically backed stablecoin yet. But the hope is, because it's got like IOG, who's very much built by academics and financial experts. You've got Coty delivering it, who are full transparency, full legal compliance backed. You don't have any venture capital money backing the build out of this. It's all just done by, it's all funded by IOG and Coty, who they're not in it to speculate. They're not saying, okay, let's put a load of money in that and hopefully these guys will be successful. They're actually putting their own money, building it themselves, so they're invested in the success of this as well. So they're not going to pull the rug from it. Whereas a venture capital backed chain could have the money pulled, because ultimately you're beholden to investors who are looking for a return on that investment, rather than got a vested interest in building out and making it work. So the approach for Coty, for Djed, is quite a bit different. It has the benefits of the DeFi world because it's algorithmically backed, but also has the builders in there very much invested in the space as a whole. So Coty's whole business model is around making blockchain work in the real world, and IOG have given their technology over to be actually built out by somebody else. So they're not stakeholders per se anymore. They're interested in the success of it because it obviously is running on the Cardano blockchain. But yeah, it's a very, very interesting model, and I've kind of gone off track there a little bit. But yeah, so Coty as a potential investment, I would look at. Yeah, I hold some myself, full disclosure. I believe in what they're trying to do. I believe in what they've done so far. I like what they've done so far. So happy to hold some of their token. So Coty token is on the Coty blockchain, not on Cardano. In fact, I bought it on Binance Smart Chain, so my Coty is on Binance still.
Oh, cool. I'll go and have a look at that. Thank you.
They are interesting. And Bar Shahan Geffen, something, I'm not very good at his name, is the guy behind it. You can follow him on Twitter. He's quite open. He's quite a good speaker as well. So interesting to listen to. He's not quite at the par with Charles Hoskinson, so, but he is good.
Awesome. Thanks, Jonathan.
So Shahaf Bar Geffen, that's his name. Jane says I sound like I'm swearing. I really am not. Sorry about that. So I've dropped the Medium post in. That is Shahaf's Twitter stream. There's his picture with Charles. Best buddies.
I have a question, if it's not too late in the morning for the answer.
This will probably be the last question, but yeah, go for it.
Well, yeah, and I'm happy to wait till next week or something. Can you remind, because of the claiming the Zibers through the Tosidrop, I've now been reminded of the Dripdropz. And what is, like, how do you, I remember knowing that you should try and maximize claiming, like 10 or something, like you have to do 10. And so when I first looked at this, like, months ago, now, first told about it with Sunday swaps and Dripdropz and things, it wasn't worth me ticking anything. But what what is Dripdropz really, and what's the benefit of checking it regularly, and how do you choose which ones? And I mean, there's like Huskies, which you know are like rubbish, right? But fun or whatever it is. So it's a personal choice whether you have that one or not. But how do you use Dripdropz, and how do you choose?
So I've got it open previously. So this has got Jaya's wallet on it. So Jaya, interesting things on here that's available to you now. The ones I would consider are the drip token itself, because that is tied to the success of the whole Dripdropz platform, and its price has been, so the fee you pay. Oh, I'm sharing the wrong screen. No, it should
You
be.
can just see 2 blue squares going around and round.
Okay, I'm sharing the right screen. Is anybody else seeing Dripdropz shared okay, or shall I close it and start again?
Yeah, I'm seeing it.
You're seeing
Yeah, I'm
it?
seeing the screen.
Okay. Maybe well, let me stop it and start streaming again, just see if that helps Robin out, because that's who I'm trying to help. Is that any better?
Thank you.
Cool. Okay. So yeah, ones I would be interested in, drip token, because at times that the price that you pay to participate in Dripdropz has been covered by the value of the drip token itself. I don't think it's quite there anymore, but that's worth looking at. And you can see the price of drip on the exchanges like MuesliSwap, MinSwap, etc. So that's one I would probably grab if I was grabbing more than one in particular. You've got your Sunday swap tokens here that are claimable if you wanted to use Dripdropz for that. That, like myself and Robin, were waiting for the Sunday swap platform themselves to release the faucet to send us those tokens instead. But it's dragging on a bit now. I might just go and grab them anyway. And you can see the value of Sunday swap tokens again on other exchanges like Muesli and MinSwap. Other ones I'd be interested in, token. I quite like collecting these if I do use Dripdropz, because that's an NFT platform, and the Cardano NFT ecosystem is booming, and this is like, again, similar bracket to buying a spade in the gold rush rather than buying the gold. So I consider that. Hosky, it's a bit of fun. I really like the developer behind it. It's very pro decentralization, so just for reputation rather than anything else, it'll never be worth anything, I'm pretty sure. You could get some Husky tokens. In fact, that's their mandate, that it'll never be worth anything. It's a zero pegged stablecoin. It will always be worth zero, is there in their white paper, I think, or their brown paper as they call it, because it's a shit coin. You can go for a and I did just swear that time, yes. You could go for cornucopias, because that's a very good project. I have some Kopi tokens. I would verify that one is actually a Kopi token. So do your due diligence on any of these, because sometimes you could get tokens on here that aren't actually related to the project you think they are. But yeah, this looks like...
Yeah, like that one says Project Cornucopia and talks about the island, which is that game. So is that
it looks legit.
Verified then?
It looks legit, yeah. Cornucopias.io is the website from it. So these are vetted by the Dripdropz team to a certain extent, but certainly initially there were some ones getting on that just like, there was several Bison based ones, none of them which were Charles Hoskinson, so it's worth having a look around and doing due diligence a bit further for the ones that you do suspect might be worth something. Anything else on here that I would consider holding? Not particularly. So yeah, whether you jumped in on this one or not, I don't know. I do have a myth one. I quite like that because it was pretty. But that's not really a investment advice. There we go.
Unless you want pretty.
Yeah. So one of the things that has got me more interested in NFTs is that you can pimp out your wallet. So, like you can actually set the background. Let me share this screen with you. This will be the last thing, honestly. I have to go. You can share the background, set the background of your wallet to an NFT, and you can also set the icon of your wallet to an NFT. This is using Eternal. So you can pimp out your wallet.
In this case like that you've just looked through,
Yeah.
if there were less than 10 tokens that you were interested in, would you just not... Isn't there something about daily claiming or something? So for example, there's if you were after the token and the cornucopia, because you like those two, you claim those those two, and you pay your Dripdropz fees or your ADA fees, whatever, to claim that, and then you come back tomorrow and you look again, and theoretically cornucopia and token will be there again.
Mm-hmm. So every 5 days, they change what's available to you. So sometimes you might be able to get gimbal tokens, and then sometimes not. And they don't roll over between epochs. So if you see, you can get, or the majority of them don't. Sunday swap token does, but say you saw, say you were.
I can see gimbal today.
You can.
I can actually see gimbal tokens on one of my wallets.
Oh, definitely, I'd get a gimbal token. Yeah, they're great to have.
Is it learning your tokens and what you want? So you want to try and get 10 every 5 days, is to go, well, I've got 10 things that I actually want here, and that's going to be the most cost-effective way of claiming those. But it's also about, if you're claiming Gimbal's token and cornucopia, and you see those three, you should, if that's your interest, you should claim them when you see them, like you say, otherwise, because they won't be there in 5 days.
Yeah, exactly. So if you see something you do want, you might as well grab it, because they might not be there in the next 5 days. If you're getting more than one, so if you know there's one you definitely want, then that's probably worth getting. If you see there's maybe two of them, two of them you're not too fussed about, but you think you probably would, then that might not be worth getting the 10, because you pay sort of for one quite cheap price, and you pay for 10 a slightly more price. So as far as I could work out, you either go for just getting the one, or you go for all 10, in which case you just fill your wallet with junk. But they're all fun to have. And just like I was saying, this little feature in Eternal Watt's quite good. So I've just been able to set my wallet icon to be a meteorite and my background to be a starscape, because there's some of the NFTs I hold. I'm like, it's all pimped out. Nice.
Yeah, I've got loads of junk in my wallet from collecting them.
It's kind of litter on the blockchain, isn't it, really? It's like,
suppose you can't pick them up and throw them out.
Yeah. I was going to say, is there any way you can suppress things that you don't want anymore? Or
you have to send them somewhere, send them into a black hole. Or
shredder, like, just put that in the shredder, the theoretical shredder.
Yeah.
That's what you want.
Yeah, you can
have to do a development to create a NFT shredder.
Yeah, well, there is. I mean, you can send them to an address that's not a legitimate address, or address that nobody uses, and then nobody will be able to access them ever. So you could just make up your own send address, send them all to there, and they'll disappear out of your wallet. You have to pay for the privilege, but at least they'll be out of your hair then.
That's a good idea. Yeah. And someone creates that address. Oh, look what I've got! All this crap.
and your rubbish might be gold to somebody else.
Someone might discover it in 50 years' time, find that address, and everything will be worth absolute fortune, and you'll have given away your inheritance for a son. Yeah, I suspect not, but you never know. Good fun.
Awesome.
Right,
That's
well,
good to end on.
Yeah, I think we'll leave it at that chuckle. And
have you heard? Have you heard of Djed? For some
Djed?
reason, I've got them as a favorite.
Oh, okay.
I have no idea why it's. I've got Token and Gimbal, and Hosky and Grow, and then I've got this thing called Djed.
Okay.
Does anybody know what a Djed is?
I think that's by the by Kyle Solomon, who is a OG in the space. Good developer, good builder, kind of a maverick, very, very entertaining to listen to. He's part of the Dripdropz team, and he's also on the board of SPOCRA, Stake Pool Operators Alliance. I'm a member of too. So yeah, maybe I mentioned him and you thought, let's get some Djeds. He also does
the cyberspace.
Slow little brother of space coins.
Yeah, he does space coins as well, and I think he also does Wolf token, and yeah, he's there's a load of stuff on there that's never going to be worth anything, but you never know. Digits and space coins, and there was something else, a Doja coin as well. I think that's his too. And some of them I think he probably created just to fill the platform out a little, make it look a bit busier when it first started up. I suspect. Maybe a bit skeptical, but yeah.
Sounds like the plan.
All good fun.
Yeah.
Right.
Awesome.
Thanks for that. I think I'll wind up now. Go and do some work.
That's it. Thanks for your time, Jonathan.
My pleasure.
Likewise.
Yeah.
See you all next week.
Thank you.
Right.
Have a good week, everyone.
Thanks for the Ziber tokens.
All right. Bye-bye.